Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tara Palmeri Show. I just had a shocking live interview with a congressional candidate, Kat Abughazaleh. She walked out mid-conversation. I know, it's crazy. If you're online, you probably know her. She's 26 years old and she built a really big following with her sharp, funny videos. She worked at Media Matters and Mother Jones, and she had, these segments like, I watched Tucker Carlson, so you don't have to. It's a style that made her a progressive star. Now she's running for Congress in Illinois' 9th district. She's one of a pretty large pack of candidates. There are about 13, but she was second in the race and she's rising, especially because this week she was in the headlines. She was indicted for her role in a protest outside of an ICE facility. The charges are serious: conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer, and forcibly impeding, intimidating, or interfering with a federal enforcement officer while engaged in official duties. The indictment alleges that she and others surrounded a federal officer's vehicle, banged on the hood and windows, and etched the word pig on the side. I wanted to give her a chance to tell her side of the story, so I asked very basic questions: how she's feeling, what happened that day, what the charges mean for her campaign, and whether this could affect her ability to serve in Congress. It's pretty straightforward journalism. But halfway through the conversation, she abruptly ended the interview and walked off. It was shocking and telling. If we kept going, I would have asked her more about how this is being seen as an infringement on free speech and the administration going after its political enemies. I also wanted to talk to her about her campaign, why she's running, what she hopes to change. But of course, I had to ask her about the breaking news. I'm a journalist. Now, she did tell me in advance that she couldn't go deep into it because it's an ongoing legal matter, but she could have just said that. I can't comment on this directly, but I can say, and what she wants to say. I have dealt with this so many times as a journalist, but no questions are off limits, especially not for people seeking higher office. I have to say, her reaction gave me deja vu. It brought me back to that Katie Porter moment from just a few weeks ago. She is the former congresswoman from Orange County who wants to be governor of California. And then she just walks out on a local news reporter asking basic accountability questions. If you've been following the Tara Palmeri Show or the Red Letter at tarapalmeri.com, where you can get all of my exclusive reporting, you know that I don't play for either side. I am a truly independent journalist. No corporate overlords, and it may not always be fashionable being independent, but it is essential. I just ask the questions that matter. So watch what happened, decide for yourself, and let me know in the comments. Was this a bad judgment call or a politician avoiding accountability? Let's roll the tape. Live? Yeah, we're
live.
We are live. Well, Kat, welcome. This is Kat Abughazaleh, and I hope I said your name correctly.
You nailed it first try.
Woo! Yay! And welcome to the Tara Palmeri Show on YouTube and the Red Letter on Substack. Kat is running for Congress in Illinois' 9th district, and you've probably seen her on her social media accounts. She's blown up. She's a social media star. But most recently, you've had a lot of drama, you could say. I'm sure you're in a state of shock, but how are you feeling ever since you found out that you've been charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to impede or injure an ICE officer and assaulting or impeding an officer while engaged in official duties? And then the charges also mention property damage and obstruction. How are you feeling right now? What's going on through your head?
Yeah, I can tell you that when I started this year, first off, I didn't even think I'd be running for Congress, but I definitely didn't think I'd be federally indicted. I've covered the right for a long time. You talked about my social media accounts. The reason those are big in the first place is because of my reporting covering the right. And so I'm not surprised at what we're seeing. It's exactly what I and my colleagues have warned Democratic leaders about for years. And part of the reason that we're here in the first place is those warnings not being heeded. But it is surreal to be the person on the indictment. especially because my name is really long.
What do you think about those charges, though? They seem really serious.
Yeah,
Conspiracy to impede or injure an ICE officer, assaulting or impeding that officer. Um, those are pretty big charges.
the charges, I think they're actually like slightly different, but no matter what the charges are in the indictment, I plan on pleading not guilty. And this is a political prosecution, plain and simple. It's an effort to criminalize free speech, an effort to criminalize free association, and an effort to criminalize the very act of protest. And so we're going to be pleading not guilty, and the evidence will come out in court, and I fully plan on winning.
Yeah, just to be clear, the indictment alleges that you and others, quote, surrounded a federal officer's vehicle, banged on its hood and windows, etched pig on the side, and impeded movement. Did you etch the word pig on the side of an officer's car?
I'm not speaking to the specifics of anything that's in the indictment right now, but like I said, I do plan on pleading not guilty,
Yeah.
and the evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning.
Okay. Well, let's all watch the video of what happened that day that they are alleged. But when you see that, what do you think right now?
Tara, once again, this is my first time being federally indicted. Like I said,
Yeah.
I plan on pleading not guilty. The evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Just really quickly, I did want to ask you about just the fact that conspiracy to impede an officer is up to 6 years in prison, forcibly impeding and intimidating an officer is up to 8 years. Is that that could that could actually hinder your ability to serve in Congress? Are you concerned about that? Did she just sign off? Did she just leave the chat? I'm so confused. I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened. Okay. Well, she left because I asked her questions about what happened that day. All right. Well, I will continue with the conversation on my own, I guess. This is very bizarre. Yeah, so I guess this is I've never had that happen before. Apologies. But yeah, so basically the charges, it could be, 14 years. This could hinder her ability to serve in Congress. It could make it more difficult. Some people might not vote for her, but at the same time, she's probably raised a ton of money off of it. She was in second in the race. There's still a primary, a very crowded primary of 13 more people who are running to in this congressional district. And she was in second, 13%, and the person above her was an 18%. And so, this could possibly help her, maybe hinder her, but I've got to think at this time, with so many people fed up with ICE and what was going on in this country, that it may help. She's already raised $1 million and she's in a safe blue seat. And unlike a lot of other members of Congress, or people who are hoping, other members of Congress who are in the gerontocracy class, she was lucky because the incumbent, Jankowski, I believe her name is, she has decided to step down at 81 years old. So it's not like she is up against an incumbent. Sorry, her name is Jan Schakowsky. That is the incumbent. And she has decided to step aside for the next generation. Kat's biggest challenger would be the mayor. So any questions for you guys? I don't understand why she left the chat. I thought I was asking some pretty basic questions. And I don't know. It doesn't really bode well personally for if she wants to be a member of Congress. She can't really handle some questions. I think probably would have been better just to talk through it. But, if she can't take a few questions about what happened from me, how is she going to handle representing, an entire district? And so I think this is kind of a problem that we're seeing. It's like the Katie Porter thing where she wouldn't answer questions. I think sometimes when people become so popular on social media and they have their entire platform to themselves and they don't have to, respond to questions, they just speak directly to their audience, unfiltered, without having someone who speaks for others and challenges, or even just asks simple questions about how they were feeling. I thought that was pretty straightforward. They can shut down. And I just don't think that's a really good sign for leadership. But alas, she's got a lot of fans. And maybe in this time, this is just the way it is in politics. People just don't have to, politicians don't think they have to talk to the press. They don't think they have to take questions from people. I know if she does get elected, she'll be in a town hall one day. People will ask her something she doesn't want. Will she walk out? I don't know. She's 26 years old. My impression is she's got a lot to learn. And hopefully she doesn't take lessons from people like Katie Porter, who basically tanked their campaign by acting like this. So that, someone just said it's the Trump playbook. Yeah, you could say that. It's changed the game, like in this social media age where fame is what is the calling card to being a member of Congress. Fame is what it takes to become a politician. You become famous on social media, which she's already become. And so that, I guess, gives you a sense of entitlement as well. But it's too bad that it happened like that. Okay, well, thank you for everyone who tuned in for that very short live. Next time, hopefully our next guest will not jump after a few basic questions. Not a great sign for Kat and her future, but you know what? This is just the way it is. I'm also surprised too, because she says that she was a journalist. I mean, she was obviously a liberal, progressive commentator who created a show called I Watch Tucker Carlson So You Don't Have to. And not exactly an unbiased journalist, but I thought, she'd be able to also handle some questions herself. Though again, I don't think it was that difficult to ask her about what happened. If she didn't want to talk, she could just say, yeah, I can't talk about that right now. And move on. Like that's just how it goes. But we will not hear from her. Maybe you'll hear from her directly. Is that good enough for you? That's up to you. All right. Thanks to everybody who joined in. Share this with your friends because it was weird. And that is the beauty of a live. I can't make this up. This is just the way politics is right now. And yeah, if we were on set, I guess she would have just taken off her earpiece. All right. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. That was another episode of the Tara Palmeri Show, a wild one indeed, but thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you for sticking with me. I know it was a short one, but I wanted it to be a lot longer. If you believe in independent journalism and you want to continue to support me, please go to tarapalmeri.com. That's TARAPALMERI.com. And you can become a paid subscriber to the Red Letter, where you can get my exclusive reporting straight to your inbox and more interviews with newsmakers. If you like this show, please rate it, subscribe, share it with all of your friends. That's what keeps me going. I want to thank my producer, Eric Abinate. I want to thank Abby Baker. She is my researcher, and she booked this interview. I also want to thank Adam Stewart, who does my graphics. I will see you again tomorrow.